Remember, there's some pretty important information here in the disclaimer. You might want to give the video a quick pause and read it.
Oh, hey everybody, it's me, Sonic! Sonic the Hedgehog! Just here to remind you that if you haven't already, make sure to hit that like button. And for even more amazing customs, don't forget to subscribe to Wake Angel 2001, because between you and me, they're way past cool.
Hello my friends, it is Wake Angel 2001 coming at you with another commissioned figure. This one is for Tony and is Percy the Bandicoot. Now, I've made Percy before, but just in case people aren't completely familiar, let's go over her backstory real quick. She started out in Sonic Boom Rise of Lyric as a simple quest-giving NPC, but of course would be used as a common background cameo in several episodes of the Sonic Boom cartoon series. In fact, because especially in crowd shots, her design was a little bit more distinct than some of the other characters, so whenever they duplicated her model for crowd shots, such as this one from the Justin Bieber concert, she kind of stood out as there's kind of a lot of her standing around. And I'm not sure if this decision was made before or after people noticed the multiple Percys in the audience, but they did give her at least one canonical sibling in Stacy, an apparent twin sister that looks exactly like her. But she did have a distinct personality, and they even spoke to each other over the phone in an episode. So, yes, there's definitely at least two of them. Although my headcanon is that there's actually a very large family of identical siblings or cousins or whatever, kind of like Sonic Boom's version of Officer Jenny and Nurse Joy from the early Pokemon anime. I mean, at least that's my headcanon. I choose to believe that there's just a whole bunch of Percys out there. Although they probably have rhyming names Percy, Stacy, Macy, Lacey, stuff like that. Okay, so let's actually make the toy. The base figure is Stixx the Badger. Now, again, I do not like working with the Tomy figures as they are built in such a way that dismantling them without damaging them is virtually impossible. And in Stixx's case, I can barely get her head off. Last time I made a Percy, I did actually dismantle the entire figure, which meant breaking the torso and having to glue it back together again, and after that the arms and legs were always loose. It was never quite the same. So this time I only removed the head and left everything else as intact as I could. Making her boots is a simple enough task. I had to cut off Stixx's boots at the connection point to the leg, and then after cutting the hair off of the head, I take the ends of her little pigtails and stick them on top, sculpting in the middle part with epoxy to create that Ugg boot look that Stacy has going on. She's wearing Uggs that has floof on the top. That's the look I capture. This also has the benefit of increasing Percy's height exactly right, because canonically, Percy is about Amy's height, maybe a little bit taller than Amy, but Stixx is short. Stixx is only about Tails' height. She's a little taller than Tails, but not by much. So yeah, this gives the figure the needed height, and also, gives him the right boots. Modifications to the body are also relatively light. Again, I have to work around the figure while it's mostly assembled. This involves cutting off Stixx's dress, and then sculpting on, Percy's clothing elements, like her top, that hood, which I sincerely doubt she could ever actually wear, unless it's made out of the most stretchable fabric in existence, and a little Bandicoot tail. Oh, and on another note, she's a Bandicoot, and it leads me to wonder, how do you guys think she stacks up next to Crash Bandicoot? Because I know, with the resurgence of Crash Bandicoot, with the recent reboots and new games he's been getting, it leads me to wonder, Like, is this just what cartoon Bandicoots look like, or is there like a fundamental aesthetic difference that you can see between the Crash style and the Sonic Boom style? Because like, I have a feeling that at some point in the future, there's gonna be a Crash and Sonic crossover, and like, I feel that Percy might be like a transitional form to bridge that gap, just to see if Bandicoots can blend with Sonic casts, looking distinct but different, you know? Anyway, I digress. A simple job of gluing the shoes back on. Well, of course, I painted everything first and then glued the shoes back on, but this is what the body looks like. Very simple affair. Like I said, modifications are kept light by design because, you know, like, Sonic characters don't really have really complicated designs. Percy's not all that complex, but she's actually in the upper echelons of it, just by virtue of the design of her costume. Anyway, the head modifications, sculpt on her bangs, sculpt on the big hair she has on the back, which are not spines, because Bandicoots don't have spines, and, at this point, I had to paint everything, like her very blazed cat-like color scheme of lilac and purple, and then stick this head back onto the body. It has to be stuck back on in this state because I had to be able to open the bottom of the head to get it around the mushroom peg, because once closed, the mushroom cat's gigantic T-shape will not go through the neck hole. This, of course, means that she has a gigantic hole going through her head, which just will not do. This is where it gets kind of hard, because I have to sculpt on her little bandana thing to cover this hole while the head is still attached to the body. And I intended to take a picture of it before I painted, but I guess I forgot, so let's just take a final look. Here is Percy the Bandicoot, all finished. As you can see from the profile, she does indeed have the hair thing, which covers the hole on the side. And, from the front, you got Percy with her cute little face. She retains all the articulations, such that it is for a boom figure, which is just pinned disc shoulders, swivel hips, and a swivel neck. And she looks pretty good standing next to Zoe, just a tiny slight bit taller than Zoe, which is actually accurate to her depiction, as you saw from the picture of her standing next to Zoe in the picture I showed earlier. And of course, now Tony is going to have his Percy and Stacy to both fawn over Tails, because the Sonic Boom version of Tails was quite the ladies' man, if you think about it. Yeah, like Sonic and Knuckles thought that they were such studs, but if you remember, it was Percy that was kind of into Percy was kind of into Tails at the end of her episode, and there's every indication that Tails had a continuing relationship with Zoe after her premiere episode. So yeah, I completely believe that these three formed a throuple and that Sonic and Knuckles were left jealous. Haha. Yeah, I don't actually believe that, just in case some people are going to start getting on my case with how their OTPs work out and all that stuff. I was just joking, folks. Anyway, thank you all for watching the video. This is Wake Angel 2001 signing off.